Hello everyone, my name is Aristotle Joshua Talabis Endaya, and I'm here today to show and discuss a detailed presentation about the awareness of ecological extinction. I hope you guys can bear with me throughout this presentation. So first of all, I'm going to show a short video about the catastrophic collapse of nature's ecosystem, which were explained by scientists, basically warning us about it.
A large number of the crops we eat and rely on are pollinated by insects. So imagine a world where that pollination process is not taking place. And there are some cases already around the world where we are having to pollinate by hand at huge cost, at huge economic cost, simply because the insects aren't there to do the work that we would normally ask them to do for free. And in some cases, if you were talking about food crops, just try and imagine the scale of what that would look like if insects weren't doing that for us.
So in the video, it has emphasized about the insect mass extinctions because it they are declining not 8 times faster than mammals, reptiles, and amphibians. And they also discuss about the importance of insects in the ecosystem. So to begin, what is ecological extinction? Ecological extinction is defined as the reduction of a species to such low abundance that even though they are still present in the community, they no longer interact with other species. Many species survive at very low densities, so they are considered practically extinct from an ecological point of view. Moreover, it happens when too few members of a species in an area continues to play its role in the ecosystem. So today we're going to have 3 main points that we're going to explore and dig out some information and examples to understand ecological extinctions, its sources, its consequences, and the approaches in spreading awareness about the ecological extinction. We're first going to discuss the sources of ecological extinction. An ecosystem has a balance that it needs to follow. So, introducing invasive species or foreign species can disrupt this balance in the ecosystem, since there are no natural enemies present of that certain species or that invasive species. So, with no natural enemies present, their population or the invasive species population can explode and taking the toll of the native animal and plant species in that ecosystem. An example is the small Indian mongoose. They are known to be aggressive predators, and they were blamed to the decline of many birds, reptiles, and mammals in Australia. Also, they carry rabies and some human diseases. Another example is the cane toads in Australia too. Initially, they are natively found in northern South America and Central America, and also in Mexico. The reason why they were brought to Australia was to control pests. However, unknowingly, these toads produce toxic ooze, which resulted to the death of many animals that have tried to consume this animal. So basically, they multiply more and more in Australia. So natural occurrences such as greenhouse effect threaten the lives of many animal and plant species, which obstruct the interaction and relationship of every species in the ecosystem. It changes the condition of the environment, which a certain species needs to adapt and survive. But if it doesn't, it causes the species to suffer a great loss in number, which could lead to a total extinction of the species. And human human activities are the one of the sources of the ecological extinction. So extensive use of fertilizers and pesticides affect soil quality and water quality in rivers through irrigation. Factories and ships contribute a lot in water and air pollution through dumping waste products in ocean waters and belching burnt fossil fuels. Furthermore, mining activities and urbanization has led to a large-scale habitat degradation. So these images shows how bad the effects of human activities in an ecosystem. So after talking about the sources, we have the probable consequences of ecological extinctions. So natural occurrences such as diseases related to human health issues can be spread from plant species and animal species to human population depending on the area and situation. One of the most infamous examples is the Black Plague that happened in the medieval age, which a pandemic similar to what's happening today in our world spread out throughout Europe. It is believed that a bacteria carried by fleas and rats found in Europe's sewer systems caused it. Most rats thrive and multiply during those times because no other species could oppose them or maintain their population size. So additionally, global warming increased the Earth's temperature and resulted to sea level rise, threatening the terrestrial plants and animals and human populations. Due to the ecological imbalance, it has caused the certain species to adapt or try to survive in other locations. However, they can't seem to get any role to play in other ecosystem, and they decided to stay to their habitats with no assurance of the continuity of their species. As I mentioned earlier about the human activities being a source of ecological extinction, the extensive use of fertilizers and pesticides in field crops has led to the death of many insects and microorganisms found on the soil, which are essential in replenishing nutrients in the soil. And with large habitat degradation has forced many animal species to migrate in other places to survive, leaving the plant species to be eliminated abruptly. Sorry about that. And an example is the reduced abundance in bees, which affects the associated process of pollination. We have discussed the sources and consequences, but we need to prepare the approaches in spreading awareness about the ecological extinction. Education is the most common way in spreading awareness. Educating your family, friends, community, and the community around you about the endangered species in your area will help them realize how important and significant these creatures are in the interaction of our ecosystem. Developing environmental friendly programs could provide them knowledge and ways on how to help the nature in the simplest ways possible, and it could raise awareness on the present effects of around the world if we don't do anything to help Earth overcome this phenomenon. So implementing policy actions and societal initiatives will inform the people the effects and impacts of the extensive use of nature's resources, protecting local environments, promoting sustainable local economies, and restoring degraded areas. So in conclusion, we have discussed the three main points surrounding ecological extinction, which includes the sources, consequences, and approaches in spreading awareness. As citizens of this world, we should be responsible on taking care of the nature, for it continues supplying us our daily necessities and trying to preserve its resources for the future generation to use. According to Franklin D. Roosevelt, a nation that destroys soils, it destroys itself. The forests are the lungs of our land, providing or purifying the air and giving fresh strength to our people. We should learn to treat nature as how we treat people, other people, and ourselves in a good manner. It's just a matter of give and take, and the appreciation of about the beauty of nature and the things that it provides us. So here are the list of the references that I used for the facts and examples mentioned earlier. And now we have reached the end of the presentation, and I hope you guys learn a thing or two from this presentation, and thank you for listening. Have a great day, everyone.